Hey 7th graders, good to see you again. Mr. Wright back at you, day 2 of working with color. And the goal today is to experiment with warm and cool colors. So, you know the drill. First thing we do is we write our name on our sheet of paper. Mr. Wright. And let's see those pencils moving, writing your name on your sheet of paper, and that should be done in 5. Your name should be on your paper in 4. Your name should be on your paper in 3. That means you too, Hamza, just joking. Name should be on your paper in 2. Name should be on your paper in 1. Beautiful, thanks Hamza, you know I love you. All right, let's turn that piece of paper over. And here we go. All right, so first thing we want to do is work with warm colors. So let's see if we can remember the warm colors. Red, yellow, and orange. So I'm going to dip my brush into the water, and I'm going to start out with a good amount of yellow. And I'm going to put that yellow onto my palette. And I'm going to get a little bit of red, because I know how strong that red is. And I'm going to make an orange, and I'm just gonna play, you know? I'm just gonna put that orange down, and I'm gonna start smushing it around, just like the color field painters did, like Helen Frankenthaler. She would just experiment, see what happens. Of course, she wasn't using a brush. She was pouring her paint onto canvas, but we are using brushes because we're here in school, and we're not pouring paint around. But basically, I'm just having fun, you know? I'm just gonna put some yellow down, put some orange down, put some red down, just working with warm colors. One thing I would like to see you do as well is work with transparency and opacity. Transparent means that you can see through it. And if we use a lot of water in our paint like I'm doing right now, it's very thin. And we can see the paper through it, and it becomes very luminous, very light. On the other hand, if I were to use a lot of paint and not a lot of water, the paint becomes what's called is opaque, or unable to see through. It becomes very dense. We can't see through it. So I'd like to see you experimenting with that as well. I'm just using warm colors here, using my primary red, using my primary yellow, and making a secondary orange. Running low on the yellow here. So I'm making a secondary orange here, and I'm also working with transparent to opaque color. I really am a fan of transparent colors. It's very luminous, very bright, very light and beautiful. Let's see if we can make a really transparent red. And doing that, it almost looks like pink. It's very pinky. Let's see if we can bring that over here. So we're going to take up about half the page with warm colors. And then the other half of the page is going to be devoted to cool colors. And we're just getting familiar with warm colors. We're really just getting familiar with how to use the paint and all these different ways that we can use it. Look, I can scratch across. I can use it thick. I can use it thin. And all of it's very beautiful and can have really interesting effects. Okay, so here we go. I mean, we have one side of the page that's covered with warm colors. Now let's make the right side of our page covered with cool colors. Since I already have been using yellow a lot and I'm running low, I'm going to just use that right now, and I'm going to make some greens. Now green is going to be it's a cool color. However, it's going to be the warmest cool color. You can see that it's very bright and kind of reminds me of a spring day, but it does have a lot of blue in it. So it is technically a cool color. However, it has some warm qualities to it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get the blue happening a little bit more. And I'm just experimenting, you know, you can just see me fooling around, like here I am smushing that around. That's okay. We want to be kind of nice to our brushes, but we also want to feel free to use our materials how we want to use them. Okay, so that's green. I'm going to make another secondary color, which is violet. So I'm going to take a lot of blue, put that on my palette here. I'm going to take a little bit of red and mix myself a violet that I like. That looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and start painting with violet. I'm going to put a little bit more red into it even. Yeah, that's better. And I'm going to take that all the way over to the edge. And when I make the violet transparent by adding more water, we can see a lot of the paper coming through it, and it gets more luminous and more light. I'm going to try that with the blue. I'm going to get the blue and just paint it really transparently so that I can see the paper coming through and get a lot of luminosity that way. All right, I'm going to go back to violet. So see, I'm just making it up as I go. You guys, there's no right or wrong with this assignment. What we're doing is we're just fooling around with warm and cool colors. And once we're done, we're going to be able to see the difference between the two. I'm going to make sure that I have a lot of cool colors down here so that I can really feel the difference between the warm and the cool. Just painting warm and cool colors. Going to add some more yellow to this blue so that I have a nice green. Different ways of applying the paint and using your brush. You can put a lot of thick paint on the paper or thin, again making it opaque or transparent. I want to put a little bit more violet into this painting because the green is making it still fairly warm. So I'm going to take the blue and I'm just going to go ahead and plop that down on my paper, and I'm going to take some red and mix a violet right here and maybe a little bit more blue. And I'm mixing it right here, and I'm going to take it all the way over to the corner. So that's it. You know, I'm just making it up. Again, I'm making it up as I go. I'm seeing how the colors can mix together a little bit, and I'm also seeing how I can keep them pure and not let my violet get too mixed in with the green over here and become a brown. I want to still keep my green and my violet. I don't want to make a brown right now. Browns can be beautiful and very useful, but that's not what we're focusing on right now. We're focusing on making warm and cool colors. So I'm going to add a little bit more blue over here. Why? I don't know. Just feel like it. Fill this space up here. So that's it. We just want to make sure that we have one warm side and one cool side. Can keep adding to it a little if I want. I might even add a little up here, but we're not really painting designs. The color field painters weren't interested in designs per se. They were more interested in how color feels, what color does, how that has an effect on the viewer, the person that's looking at the painting. So that's it. And at some point, I'll probably go back to this painting and look at it and think about the way the colors are making me feel and what this painting is saying just about pure color. Okay, hope you guys had a fun time. See you next time.